Thank you for tuning in to the Austin All Day podcast. We are here again with Chef Ryan Rosen and his wife Jessica from the Brooklyn Breakfast Shop. They are scheduled to open Monday, September 23rd at 8 a.m. Follow the Brooklyn Breakfast Shop on Instagram. Chef Ryan is active at keeping us up to date on menu items. Some of the things have changed from the time of this recording to the time this is airing, such as dates that we talk about and menu items. But needless to say, I am very excited for these guys. Make sure to follow them on Instagram. Sit back, grab a drink, and check it out. How far along are you?
33 weeks.
33 weeks. You have a child coming?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Very.
Yes. Are you, so with the trailer opening, right, you're going to be busy.
Yeah, to say the least. Between the new business, the baby, her being out of work for a little bit, I have to make sure I'm home as often as possible.
Sure. Let me backtrack. We're here with Chef Ryan Rosen. This is his second appearance. Ryan Rosen returns with his wonderful wife, Jessica, who is 33 weeks along, so we're here with someone else, too. Okay,
Technically, yes.
Yeah. Here, slide the mic over. Can we hear anything? Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy, and he hiccups a lot.
Oh, yeah?
So you could definitely...
Well, here, slide the mic over. No. No, that's exciting. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And you guys, husband and wife?
Yep.
Yeah, and we were talking real quick before we turned these on. You're doing all the pickling over there?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, he trusts me to do that.
Yeah.
Trust you a little more than that, but that's all you want to do.
So that pickling. So Brooklyn Breakfast Shop. This is a new trailer opening in the yard. What's the ETA, the opening date?
I'm hoping to get everything up and running by September 3rd. It was supposed to be done by August 26th, but with some issues from the city, it's been prolonged another week or so.
So how's your ride been with I know that people opt not to open things in Austin merely because it can be kind of a giant hurdle.
It's definitely a lot easier than opening up a brick and mortar, from what I've heard. It's been pretty straightforward, as long as you know what you're doing, which I definitely don't know what I'm doing. If I would have known that I needed this specific permit, I would have gotten it months ago.
Sure. But you learn.
Yeah, you live and you learn. People try to give you as much advice, and you choose to listen or not listen.
Yeah,
like I did, and now I'm waiting.
Well, were you given the advice to get it in prior, and you just were like, "No, we'll take care of that on my own time"?
It was one of those things where the city gives you all the paperwork.
Okay.
I asked when I went to the health department specifically. I asked them like, "What do I need to, get everything going?" And they handed me the paperwork, and I never read it.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. You're also busy.
Yeah, but I should have read it.
You should have read it. You should have.
I should have.
All right, I was trying to give you a little.
No, there's no
excuse there.
pass. There's no pass for this one. This is my own. I'm my own worst enemy.
Right, but you are just around the corner here.
Yeah.
And I mentioned the yard.
Yeah.
And that's 440 St. Elmo.
Yeah, it's 440 to 510 because they have multiple suites there. About 200 plus employees. You have Still Austin Whiskey. You have the Austin Winery and St. Elmo Brewery. And Spokesman is a coffee shop over there. And then they have a bunch of other tenants who are like sign builders and, they're trying to make it more art influenced, the area. So you'll see a lot of like graffiti across shipping containers, which is really cool. They're trying to really make it into a location that you'd want to visit.
Sure. That is cool. So is it easily accessible? Like if I need to swing through and grab a sandwich in the morning?
Yeah, so there's actually like 3 or 4 entryways.
Okay.
So pretty much the main strip is where Austin Winery is, St. Elmo Brewing, and Still Austin. There's like a little strip. And then there's more towards the back, there's a volleyball court.
Okay.
Where the guy who runs the volleyball court, he's apparently a former, what do you call it? Olympian, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I guess. And he has his own volleyball court, trains girls from young to after their teens. And he's supposedly the largest tournament holder in Texas. So we're parked literally right next to that volleyball court.
Nice. Well, that'll bring in traffic.
Yeah. The landlord told me he was going to put me in touch with the gentleman's wife because she does all that, like planning and stuff like that for him. So apparently before that, there was like a smoothie place. And that was really popular with the volleyball girls.
Sure, I would
Yeah.
assume so. Right?
I can't really do smoothies.
Well, you could.
I don't really want to. I thought about
not
it.
Very Brooklyn-like.
No, it's not that. It's just more inventory, more product,
Sure,
more headache,
sure.
more cost. It's just too much to have to deal with when I want to just do one specific thing.
Is there a freezer on the trailer?
There is not.
Okay, well that eliminates kind of smoothies there anyway.
I could just buy like a bag of ice a day
Yeah.
if I wanted to. I have coolers.
Sure.
Use it as a seat.
So I saw pictures on Facebook and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody listening, go find it on Facebook, like it there. It's on Instagram as well.
On Instagram, Facebook.
All those lovely places, and
All social
you're active on there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Too much, apparently.
Apparently, why?
She was looking over our bill, and apparently I use more data than her.
Oh,
And she looked at what I use most, and it's like apps and social media platforms.
yeah. Well, hey, I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, but it was like 72% of his time on social media.
Oh shit. You got to read those papers instead of being on that.
Yeah, that's, I think, my problem.
Yeah.
Too much social media activity.
Well, it's really easy to kind of grow things on social media.
Yeah.
You can connect with. It's almost like a just digital business card in a way.
Yeah, it's the wave of the future. Like, who needs a website? You could post your menu daily
Yeah.
on Instagram.
I can't tell you how many times I'll get on, just Instagram and I'll flow through. Oh, we're sold out. Oh, we're not open today.
It's the best way to communicate
Sure.
to people. Like, hey, I'm a week and a half away from opening. Come check us out.
Yeah, and definitely. And in your case, that's where you are.
Yeah, that's my stalemate.
So you were on here and we kind of went over your background a little bit.
Yep.
You've had quite the background, and you're bringing something that you think is necessary to Austin,
Definitely.
right? Which is breakfast sandwiches.
And the more I tell people, the more excited people get. Oh, that would kill in Austin. That would be great here. We're just walking around with the shirts on, and somebody's like, "Oh, what is that? Is that a restaurant? What is that?" And we're telling them, what we're doing, and they're like, "That would kill over here. Where's it going to be? Just wearing the shirt."
I had organically Chef Alicia's a culinary arts teacher, and she's from Brooklyn, I believe, or New York, and she was talking about how we don't have any breakfast sandwiches.
It's
here.
the saddest thing.
All right. So yeah, I guess apparently everybody's missing out. They're all eating tacos.
Which is not an awful thing.
Okay.
But at some point, you need a little variation.
Are you going to introduce anything where you are like mingling the two, like taco Brooklyn breakfast or sandwich?
I think the closest thing that I'm going to be doing to what Austin has to offer is going to be a tamale. So it's going to be whenever I can get collard greens. So I do a collard green tamale. So instead of wrapped in corn husk or in banana leaf, which is completely inedible, wrap it in collard greens. Something I've been working on for about a year.
Okay. And how's it coming? Good?
Yeah. It's, I think my biggest hurdle with that one is just coming up with the right sauce and the right just accompaniments to really help with the fattiness of the masa and like just kind of the earthiness of the collards. You need something to cut it, something acidic. So that's something I'll be continually working on until I'm happy with it 100%, but it will be featured on the trailer at the very least, within the first month of opening, if I can get collards.
Nice. So the pickling I'm interested in. So how many things are you pickling? I know the Fresno pickles. I've mentioned that.
Pretty much anything we can get our hands on seasonally.
Okay. And how are you incorporating this? Is this traditional for a Brooklyn breakfast sandwich?
Not generally.
You're elevating it.
Yeah, I'm making it more approachable and chef driven than your regular bacon, egg, and cheese for like $4.
Yeah.
On the street at a bodega in New York. This
Sure.
is going to be a little more elevated. Everything is scratch made. Like we've spoken about. The pickles that we're actually going to be featuring is going to be made with homemade vinegars.
Okay.
as well. So it's not just, distilled white vinegar. No, we're doing, like, I have a peach vinegar at home.
Going all out.
Yeah, literally everything. She's done okra, pickled okras.
Oh, yeah, pickled okra is my favorite to make.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, it's
So
she
that'll
got
be
me
there.
into it,
Yeah. Nice.
That's going to be one of them. One of these sandwiches, the vegan gluten-free buckwheat English muffin sandwich that is featuring in the opening week menu, actually has the pickled okra on it.
The vegan gluten-free buckwheat. What's all on that?
So
It's an English muffin, right?
so it's an English muffin. I wanted to make an English muffin that was accessible for everybody.
Okay.
It's gluten-free, it's vegan, but you could also throw bacon on there if you want bacon. You could throw an egg on there if you want an egg.
Right.
It's just a different option for people who, decide to make their dietary needs gluten-free and vegan.
Sure.
So the premise of that sandwich is smoked oyster mushrooms, kind of get that meaty smokiness, kind of like bacon or sausage, just so you get that like mouthfeel.
Sure.
I'm going to do some wilted bitter greens, kind of whatever I can get my hands on. The pickled okra.
But so far sounds good. And I mean, appealing to people who have dietary restrictions is probably a pretty smooth move.
Yeah, I mean, I have to. But yeah, so that was everything that was on the sandwich: was smoked oyster mushrooms, wilted bitter greens, and pickled okra.
Okay, nice.
Somebody wants to add an egg to it, by all means.
Yeah, I'm sure you might get a lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of substitutions.
Sure. Anything else that's on the menu because you said, so this is the first week, and you think, how frequently are you going to change things?
So I'm going to have my staples. I'm going to have always a biscuit sandwich, always the gluten-free English muffin, just kind of my staples,
Yes.
as well as I'm doing non-buns. But the opening week menu is not going to have that one just because I want to keep it a little more of a slim menu.
Yeah.
This way I'm not like just throwing too much out there, kind of a soft opening.
When you do the naan, are you going to like incorporate some kind of like Indian, or is it just non-bun for whatever reason?
No, so I do kind of like a spiced beef sausage with it, cilantro chutney, kind of like things that I've done and I plan on continually doing with the non-bun, just more of taking one specific region and incorporating it into breakfast sandwich form.
Sure.
So, eventually I'll be able to source local lamb, do like a lamb sausage patty, cilantro chutney, maybe like a cilantro yogurt of some sorts.
It's all sounding good.
Yeah. On a non-bun, you can't beat that with a fried egg.
I'll be honest. I could probably live off, and I feel like maybe I sort of do. I get home and I like live off some variant of a breakfast sandwich because there's like eggs on it or bacon or
It's just easy.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, hearty, filling.
for
So-
sure.
Yeah. So go over some more stuff on your menu there, because I know there was a sandwich with like pimento cheese, which is ridiculous.
So we did an event a couple weeks ago with a company called Meridian Hive. They're pretty much friends of ours now at this point. Any event they do, they kind of incorporate us into it. So the sandwich was a biscuit sandwich, buttermilk biscuit sandwich with pickled onions, beef sausage, fennel beef sausage, and smoked Gouda pimento cheese.
Nice.
Very straightforward, very incorporating Southern with kind of Northern feel, which I'm kind of about, taking what I know and taking what I've learned.
Yeah.
So for the actual opening, we're doing a buttermilk biscuit with smoked pimento cheese, honey cured bacon, which I'm making myself, curing it in honey and smoking it, and
delicious.
mustard pickled cucumbers, which Jessica made.
Nice.
So it's like honey mustard cucumbers, basically.
And it's just you two right now, right?
It's gonna be me because she's probably going to give birth,
Right.
probably like the third week of opening.
Okay, so that's going to happen.
So
But
that's
you're
gonna
going to
happen.
continue pickling? I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
And
okay.
it
Sure, I can make
lasts.
time.
Yeah, we already started pickling already and canning, so we have pickled okra, the cucumbers, we have all that stuff already done,
Okay.
which is just it'll survive for another 6 months because it's preserved.
You guys, this is a very exciting time for you guys.
For sure. I mean, we're still pushing forward. Like today, I made some Sambal Hot Sauce with peach vinegar that I made just to get ahead,
Yeah.
and canned it just so it stays. I made figs are in season right now. I got a really, really great deal on some really beautiful figs from Farm to Table, and I made a jam,
Nice.
and I canned them. And in the next month, 2 months, I'll use them for a special.
Do you some of the local vendors you're working with? Is everything locally sourced?
I want to say 99% of it is.
Well, then what's the one?
It's like sugar.
Oh, okay.
It's yeah, like if I can't get it in season, I'm not going to use it.
Which is very cool.
Even the flour I'm getting is from Barton Mills.
Nice.
They do a really good job. It was probably one of the best flours I've ever had,
Okay.
just because it was like a selling point for me at events. I was like, oh yeah, this was milled 3 days ago. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, Barton Mills. They milled it for me
Yeah, that's crazy.
a couple days ago, and now it's in this biscuit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Uh,
Knowing it's all coming from a local place too is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through Farm to Table, which I'd say 95% of their product comes from Texas, and I told them, I was like, I don't want anything from Colorado, nothing from California. Like, I sent them a very not so nice text message because they gave me some peaches that were from Colorado, and I was a little annoyed at that. I was like, we have Fredericksburg literally an hour and a half away.
Right.
Why couldn't you just get me the peaches? That's all I'm asking. I told you, I wrote in the order Texas peaches.
Sure. They were like, this is Brooklyn. I don't know what this guy's thinking. He's in Austin. He's Brooklyn breakfast shop.
I was like, I want only Texas products.
Oh,
so
good.
they know now, and they're being really forward about it, just, taking care of it.
Look at how quickly that Texas pride rubbed off on you.
Been here 2 years, and I'm like,
Yeah.
local everything.
Yeah.
Forget New York.
But especially in Austin, man, it's a good thing to do.
For sure. I love supporting local everything. Like we did an event at a honey farm. Became very friendly with Tanya, who runs it.
What farm? What's the name?
It's called Be Friendly Austin.
Okay.
And it's right off 290. It's not too far at all. It's maybe like 15 minutes from here. Did an event with them about a week ago, I believe a week ago today. And, they do free tours. She was nice enough to actually give me a free jar of honey as long as I incorporated it into the event.
Is that what you're curing the bacon?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it's going to be cured in.
It's called Be
Friendly Austin.
Friendly Austin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do, like I said, they do tours. They have a little shop that you can purchase their honey from, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Any experiments with mead? That's been a thing.
Well, Meridian Hive, like I said, we're very friendly with them.
Okay.
And they make some really great mead. The past few weeks, I've done 2 events alongside them. They've been nice enough to give me some free mead.
Sure.
In the contingency that I use it in the menu.
And how are you incorporating it?
We did a bunch of mead pickles.
Oh, cool.
Jess made a whole bunch.
Yeah.
What did we do? We did the mead pickled Fresnos, the mead pickled red onions.
Man, that sounds good.
Yeah, they were good. Like, you just reduce it down a little bit so it's not alcoholic,
Yeah.
but you still get that beautiful flavor
Yeah.
of their mead. And they actually gave me one at the event. It was a Bananas Foster, which they're not really doing now. They actually just made like a tester batch, like 4 gallons, and they were giving it away at the event, like selling it. And it was, I don't like bananas, but it was really good.
You don't like bananas?
Yeah, it's one of the, like, I don't mind the flavor. Like, I like banana bread, but I just won't go out of my way to eat a banana.
You got to get your potassium.
Somehow.
That's why you're forgetting to read these papers. Yeah, just
Chalk it up to that, right?
well, or you're skipping out on the smoothies because they're always a
Actually,
banana.
I love them in smoothies.
Yeah, like you can't have a smoothie without a banana.
No, you can't.
It just makes it.
But I just can't eat a banana on its own. It just doesn't really do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Like, I don't know. I get that. I can't eat them at night. It's weird.
That's a weird thing. Well, I mean, it's more of a breakfast thing. It's more to like start your day. You don't want to like.
Sure.
It's heavy. It's fibrous, potassium,
Sure.
all that good stuff.
So we won't be seeing any bananas at the breakfast shop.
I mean, I know there's one farm that's doing them locally. That's actually growing bananas.
Okay. Because there you go.
But I can't think of anything that I would do with a banana for a breakfast sandwich.
So
Maybe plantains.
plantains, right? Can you paint a picture? What it's like? What are your hours?
So it's going to be from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Do a breakfast and lunch.
Okay. And when someone walks up, is it like just kind of like your traditional trailer where you're going to be waiting in line, and then, or are you gonna have things like fired off, ready to rock for people just to grab and go, or?
I like things made fresh.
Sure. Yeah.
I just like quality. I don't want to have stuff pre-made. I mean,
Yeah, especially if it's going to sit there and not sell.
yeah,
Yeah.
one, it's just a waste of money if it doesn't sell, and I'd rather, like, if I go somewhere, I don't want something that's been sitting there for 10, 15 minutes. I want it made right to order.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Sure. Okay, so you're going to go up, you kind of order just like a traditional trailer setup, and you're going to make it
for sure.
because you're going to be at home with your son. Does he have a name yet?
Archer.
Archer.
Yep.
He does have a name. Hi, Archer. You have to tell him about this podcast. So yeah, that's exciting, man. So you're going to go up, people are going to order, and you're going to have this menu that's going to change with the seasons.
For sure. It's going to be at most 5 items, kind of keep it to where there's not too many options, because there's nothing worse than going to a place that has too many options.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about a couple of places that just have like a, book
Yeah.
instead of
Just unnecessary. One, it's too much inventory to keep track of, too much product that can potentially go to waste, and you're losing money.
Well, on top of that, from the experience of the guest, you want to go and you kind of want to see what there is. And if there's 5 things that look really good, it makes it easy.
Yeah,
And if
opposed
there's
to like
30
15.
things, that, you got to read through them all. And I should have ordered something else. Kind of.
There's so many times where I do that. It's like, I should have ordered that one instead of this. This was good, but I think I would have liked this one better.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's I've been there too many times.
Sure. So, what has this experience been like for both of you guys? How are you dealing with Chef Ryan here, out and about getting this launched?
It's been stressful.
Yeah.
It's definitely scary because the second he left Peach, he was like, I'm going to open the trailer and do all this stuff. I want to do my own thing.
A little scary.
And I was like, oh, well, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
So it's just
Literally
been
how
a
it happened.
crazy ride.
Yeah. So that can't be easy, right? I mean, you're thinking about it. We're bringing a human into this world. We got to have
I
stability.
actually try not to think about it.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got a good thing going here. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. I mean,
She's been nothing but supportive through the whole process.
Sure.
When we were living in New York, and I was like, I want to open my own thing. She was like, no. Like, just straight up, like, you're not doing it. And I had a buddy of mine who had a really good concept, and we had everything.
you were
worked
talking
out.
about doing that in New York.
In New York. It was 3 years ago, my buddy Khalil, and she was just like, no, you it's not going to work. You can't open your own business. We can't afford it. We can't do this. We can't do that. And she pretty much talked me off the ledge because I was really adamant about it. I was like, oh, I'll buy a fryer. I'll buy this. I'll do that. I have the money for it. And she's like, no, you don't.
Right. Yeah. Maybe a good thing. I think Austin may be a better spot to do something like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, what do you do for a living?
I work in an animal hospital.
Okay. I'll say you're good at taking care of things. So your son's in good. You're going to be good. What, animals and babies are different things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Right.
We'll just get a litter box for the baby.
Good luck, son. Yeah, but that's exciting. Like I've said, and everything's coming to a climax here, which is so. What's some crazy hurdles that you've had to jump through? And I mean, I know there's a lot, but maybe there's one that you can like pinpoint that was just insane.
Just the loan process alone took 5 months.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted to open them in June. That was my projection when I first quit Peach. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to open up in June. It'll be easy. Just kind of know what you're getting into. That's my best advice. Just really do your research.
Well, and people are going to get that from like listening to this conversation with you. So if you've got an idea and you go get the loan, but it's going to take a long time. So you can do some planning in there instead of, I'm sure.
Do your research, talk to as many people as possible, talk to business owners. Everyone will be more than helpful to help out somebody else.
So loan takes a while.
The loan took quite a while. It was a lot of back and forth between the loan officer and myself.
Right. And you're anxious to get this going.
And there were a lot of things that were said that I needed that changed last minute with them. And it's like, oh, we need this instead. And then just a lot of arguing.
Yeah.
Not so nice words.
Sure. You
yeah.
mentioned getting advice from like people. I mean, we know Eric.
Eric's been, nothing but amazing with everything. He reaches out to me very, very often, pretty much yelling at me, I want a biscuit sandwich. When are you opening? That's always how it starts off.
Yeah.
When are you going to be open? I want a biscuit sandwich.
Well, that's he's a gem over there. I mean, I talked to him just the other day, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how supportive he is
Yeah.
amongst all of the things that he's doing.
Yeah.
He takes his time out to kind of be there for you.
It's kind of funny. Like I didn't expect him to be so receptive of everything. So, with him being so supportive, it makes it more worthwhile.
Yeah,
Having somebody kind of on your side, someone who you used to work for, who's not angry that you left, who's not bitter that you left, who's wants you to succeed.
a testament to Eric and the people who have worked for him. I mean, we just literally we got off the phone with Edgar Rico,
Yeah,
who's opening Nixta before we got online here, and he's worked for him.
Yeah,
So the people who he's attracted are going on to become, and it's somewhat of a phenomena. I don't see that everywhere.
I mean, how many places have you heard of where, this person worked for this person and then they're opening something else and then that person also? It's like, I've never heard of it, it happens in New York pretty often with like, you have this Michelin star restaurant, this chef's been running it for, X, Y, and Z, and then he opens up his own place, but, doesn't do well or doesn't survive
Sure.
because rent is so high. And
I was going to say, you're better here because there's no Eric Silverstein in New York, right?
he was talking about expanding, I think.
Well, I have an idea when you guys do open a little collab there. Just do
I would
something.
love to. He might be too busy to do that, but probably talk to him about it.
He seems like he's too busy for everything, yet he's got time for everything.
Yeah, it's funny. Like he just has so many different facets.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is bother him about, hey, this is going on or that's going on. Do you have any advice for this? But he's always been like, hey, hit me up if you need advice. Message me, text me, Instagram, whatever.
Good guy. Any really good, solid advice that he's given you? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, there's been like a lot. Like literally my Instagram messages are just like from him. It's just tons and tons of different.
It's like your cheat sheet for life now. You just
I literally I'm gonna win somehow just by reading what he's written, what he writes me.
Anyone else who's kind of been supportive or had your back that you kind of look up to?
What's funny is my brother has been really nothing but helpful.
Is he out here in Austin? Or
He is. He actually works on a vegan pizza truck called Little Nona's on Riverside.
Okay.
And they're doing some really good things. And he's been there for probably like 3 to 5 months. But he's been nothing but supportive, like asking me, like he happens to be vegan, so he's the first person that I go to if I need help with like that vegan sandwich.
That's where the sandwich came.
That's where it came
Brothers, you're not going to have your brother visiting the trailer if there's not something.
Well, he's actually going to be helping me with it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's been nothing but like, hey, listen, when you open up, I'll come work for you for free. I was like, no, you're not working for free.
Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't happen. You will get paid like everyone else does, and you'll get tip pooled as well.
Sure.
But he wants to do like a couple days a week, maybe like 10, 15 hours just to like help me start it up and then
That's awesome.
Get on the way.
Cool, brother. What's your brother's name?
Sean.
Younger, older?
Older.
Nice, man. How cool is that? So when did he come? Who came here first?
We came here first. And then he like moved to California and then just, there was nothing in California. Like it was just too, I don't know, like oversaturated.
Yeah, well, we're slowly starting to see Austin turn into some sort of variant of LA.
A little bit. But he was in Sacramento, which is like apparently not amazing place to live.
Yeah.
So he came down here and he was working at the airport for a little bit and just realized it was just draining. So he decided to apply and, he got a job at Little Nona's and now he's doing that.
Was he at the airport in one of the awesome selection of restaurants, or was he?
He was at Annie's, yeah. He was working as I believe a barista / cashier at Annie's.
Annie's?
Mm-hmm.
In our airport?
Yeah.
What is Annie's?
I
feel like
So Annie's was originally a restaurant. I believe it was
Oh.
on Congress. And
That's right.
she expanded to the airport, and then she sold her property on Congress.
Yeah, I
'Cause
remember that.
From what I've heard, she like made like $2 million off the property alone.
You know what I was thinking was the Annie's Pretzels.
Oh God, no. We don't
Right,
have any
and
of
I
that.
was like, wait a minute.
We don't have any of that in Austin.
Like our airport? No,
No.
but yeah, I was at the airport and I remember Annie's closed and I was like, wait a minute, Annie's is here. So, but it closed
Yeah,
downtown.
yeah. I guess she was making more royalties off of the airport situation, so
Sure.
she kept it going, and they did very well. They were doing I think they were doing like paninis and sandwiches and eggs, kind of like all to order.
That's right by the Swift's Addict. And did Swift's Addict like caught fire literally, and they just reopened?
Did they?
I had I wonder if Annie's would have caught fire too. They're like Swift's Addict's like upstairs and like Annie's just like right below it or right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good thing she sold it.
Yeah, right.
'Cause
Made out on it.
she did make out on it.
Property. Yeah, I can only imagine how much she actually really made. And rumor is $2 million, but who knows?
All right. So I know that it sounds silly to say what's the plans for like the future of the Brooklyn Breakfast Shop, but like if it's successful, which we plan on it being,
Hoping, fingers crossed.
I think you'll do just fine. Would you like to open a brick and mortar in Austin, or would you like to open another trailer, or how do you foresee, like, what would your business plan sort of be without going into too many details?
I think I just want to I think I'm only thinking over the next year's time, just because I don't know how it will be received. I'm sure it'll be well received. I've gotten a lot of love and support from just people who I've come in contact with about the idea, the concepts, even the food that we've sold at events. I think just the next year, I definitely want to grow the brand.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next 2 to 4 years, maybe a secondary trailer to see how it's going.
Okay.
But who knows how Austin's going to be in 2 to 4 years? It could be so overpopulated, rents through the roof. Right now, I have a really, really good deal at this location. So
Yeah. I said that, we have the Moon Tower and the South Austin Beer Garden, and if you throw a trailer right there, I'll frequent it.
of course, well, I've reached out to Moon Tower. They never got back to me.
I don't know that Moon Tower would be the jam though, because you're like a breakfast sandwich and they're like like a bar setup, right?
Yeah, but what's better than a breakfast sandwich when you're drunk?
Well, but you're 8 to 3 right now. You say
I mean, if I had the opportunity to go to
there
Moon
is
Tower,
nothing
I would,
better
I would,
to answer your
yeah.
question. Nothing is better than a breakfast sandwich when you're
In a
drunk.
heartbeat, I would open up at Moon Tower because they have a lot of people.
They have a lot of people, and then
Lots of people.
all of this down here. We're off Mancheck. I don't know if you saw all the construction across the way there, but when you leave, check it out. I think even this strip down here is going to be crazy.
It's being built up. As much as Manchac is like, we don't want any, like, stay away from us. We want to keep it the way it is. They have to change with the times, unfortunately.
Well, we have a lot of food on the east side, a lot of food downtown, but like out here,
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
Fast food.
It's horrible.
You're literally in like a dead zone of food. It's just there's Valentina's, which is great,
Yes.
and then you have kind of like just fast food.
No, yeah, we had Independence, which was Fine Foods, which was Chef Casey. He actually lived in this neighborhood, and he moved, and then it closed. I don't know. But now the Moon Tower bought that, and I don't know what they're planning on doing, but it's right in that's the last little section of the strip mall outside of this subdivision. But it was good food though. It was good food. But you could just set up down here somewhere.
I wish. I literally live right around the corner, so it would be great to like be so close to home, but the yard's not that far. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's convenient.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wish you luck over there. But you mentioned like growing the brand and stuff. You brought me a shirt thing. You brought my daughter a shirt, which is excellent, and stickers and stuff.
Stickers.
So, what's your kind of approach? Are you going and sticking stickers all over town? You handing them out? What's your approach to grow?
We've been handing them out at events. They were not expensive to make, so I've just been giving them out for free.
Yeah.
She put one up at Whole Foods, like on the back of a stop sign.
Yeah.
He made me though. He's like, go do this. No one's going to yell at the pregnant woman.
Pretty much.
Is that how that went?
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
think
exactly.
it's I don't know. We have like the graffiti art around here. I mean, like I think you're good sticking stickers places.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah. You gotta have fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, but like the social media presence is important. I'm sure once you start firing off food in there, you'll be taking pictures of that, right?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to just. I'm not crazy about what I've been using as a container to like the
Oh,
brown boats.
okay.
So I'm trying to like research better vessels. This way I can kind of like make it more Instagrammable.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
say make
We
it
have
look better.
a guy down the street here. His name slips my mind, but it's Solar Snow.
Yeah,
So they
they have a handful of them.
okay, yeah. So everything they do obviously is solar, but he's done a lot of research for containers. It's all biodegradable stuff, and I've been over there too often with my daughter. But you might want to talk to him about what he's using and the company he goes
Yeah.
through. So
I've been like buying everything off Amazon right now, and
Yeah.
it's not the cheapest, but it's not overly expensive. It does the job for now for events, but I think once the trailer actually opens, I need to get a better container, something more friendly, environmentally friendly.
yeah,
But because I still need the sales tax permit, most companies that I'm trying to get to supply me with those, they need the tax sales permit.
okay.
So I have to wait on that until
It's hard to describe, but what's it look like now? The container you're using.
it's like a boat, like a beige boat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's they call it a 200-pound boat or 2-pound boat.
Is it that bad though?
It's not. It's just for what I'm doing. It doesn't really look great because it stains the boat very easily.
I think you need little like parchment or whatever, the little tissues of Brooklyn breakfast stamp on it, right?
Well, I have a friend who makes stamps, and
Okay.
she actually whittles them. So I'm gonna once I get operating and I'm able to see some revenue, I'm gonna reach out to her and have her actually make me one.
Yeah. I mentioned the collabing with Peach Tortilla, which would be cool,
Yeah,
obviously.
definitely.
Any thoughts of anybody? Because it's, the way I'm thinking is like Chef Edgar's opening Nixta. You're opening, you guys are all doing this stuff. Why not do collaborations?
We spoke about it, Edgar and I, like pretty much when I was still kind of working at Peached, but just between him and I being so busy, it just hasn't happened. I spoke with Jose at Descada, and once I open up, he actually wants to come check out the food. He's like, I would love to collaborate with you, but I want to try the food first before I put my name on anything. And he's doing a lot of big things over there at Descada. He's collabed with Bird Biscuit. They did like a biscuit platter with like their meat and their salsa with a fried egg on it, and it sold like crazy. Did a whole month special of it.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well, yeah,
that's there.
I can't wait to try the food. I really can't. So do you have any competition? Because when you said Bird Biscuit, I was like, I guess that's in the vein of like a breakfast sandwich in a way.
They do a great sandwich. They do.
Been in there, not eaten there, but I've been there.
You got to eat there.
Yeah,
They've actually been very supportive of this too. They'll message me every now and again. We can't wait to come try it. Like,
Yeah, that's
really,
so
really nice guys. Like, I try to frequent there as much as possible, but it's literally they do fried chicken and biscuit in a biscuit. They do
That's
bacon,
it.
egg, and cheese.
Oh, bacon, egg, and cheese.
Strictly, they're just biscuits.
Okay.
That's their thing, and they make a damn good biscuit. I make a good biscuit, but they make a damn good biscuit.
I see these like towers of like fried chicken. and
Yeah, they
biscuits.
did that for I think it was for Food Network. They stuck a bunch of chicken through like a spike and then made a huge tower of sandwich.
Yeah, that's
just for fun.
That's not good to see when you're drunk either.
It's the best.
Yeah. No, I mean their food looks absolutely delicious.
It really is. It's definitely a place to try.
And if anyone's listening who's not in Austin, that's how Austin is. There would be technically considered competition or something, but
probably one
they're
of the biggest ones to me. But they make a damn good sandwich. So
but they're
I'm not gonna hate on
reaching
it.
out. They can't wait to come try
Yeah,
it.
the owners messaged me a couple of times about it, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, the article came out, but the date's gonna be pushed back." And he's like, "Yeah, no, I that happened to us before too, so we'll."
Don't pay any attention.
I was like, "Yeah, I'll let you guys know 100%." And they're like, "All right, great, we can't wait to try it."
Yeah.
Same with Descada. They've been really, supportive about it. Just like I said, when it opens up, Jose wants to come check it out.
The another example of that is like Aaron Franklin's barbecue and
Mm-hmm.
Miguel Valentina's barbecue.
Yeah.
Instead of competition, those guys are like really close, and So who knows? Who knows what the plans are in the future? Because Brooklyn
Yeah.
Breakfast Shop, Bird Biscuit, it just might depend on what side of town you're on, where you're going to get a sandwich in the
I mean,
morning.
they're up on Manor. I'll be on St. Elmo, so it's a pretty good distance between the two.
Yeah. That's pretty far, especially depending on the time of day.
Yeah.
8 a.m. is when you guys open up.
Yep.
If you're on that side of town at 8 a.m., there's no way you're going to the other side of town if you're hungry.
Yeah. If you live in the neighborhood, definitely.
Sure. Anything else you guys want to touch base on?
Just, look out for us. We'll hopefully be up by the September 3rd.
So September 3rd is the date. Hopefully.
Potentially.
Hopefully.
Depending on how fast the city.
And you know that I'll mention it at the start of an episode.
For sure.
When it's
Appreciate
coming.
that.
Or episodes whenever they're coming, and we'll talk about it there. I'm trying to think too. Local vendors. I know you mentioned the Bee Be Friendly.
Be Friendly Austin.
Farm to Table.
Farm to Table, which gets gets me everything locally. Barton Mills. They're doing all different kinds of grains.
Sure.
So I'll be getting my the corn flour from them for the tamales. They're going to be supplying all of my flour for biscuits, English muffin, everything.
When you go through these vendors, besides the Be Friendly, do you have like someone there that you specifically always communicate with, or is it more of a?
It depends. If it's like a farm, then you have kind of a direct contact. But with a like a produce purveyor like Farm to Table,
Yeah.
it's a little more just like you send an order in and you pick it up or you get it delivered.
We've talked about getting like Wicked Bee Honey is a local honey maker here,
Okay.
and John Smith at Hillside Pharmacy is making mead, and so is Joseph Sukendra. So I like the idea of bringing like a vendor on here, like if they're close with a vendor, or a farm, bringing them on here. So consider something like that in the future if you ever want to, like if you have a contact at the Barton Springs or anything.
Yeah, I could definitely mention it to them, and I'm pretty sure Tanya from Be Friendly Austin would love to come on do a podcast.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her if you want. But
Super
she's
cool.
Great. She has like beehives all across Texas.
That's cool.
She partners with another company. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but they're partners and they do, like I said, they do tons of stuff.
Nice.
Tons of tours and competitions with painting beehives.
And I'm sure you did the tour. It's fun.
Oh yeah, it was great. A bee hit me in the head, and you have to really try not to swat. You have to just deal with it.
So what do you mean?
kinda rude.
If you swat, is it going to?
It's kind of rude.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I mean, you swat at one, you're swatting at like the billions that are on the property.
gosh, I was
you gotta
like
think about
thinking how fun it would be, and then I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't,
As long as you're not like,
It's like a bar fight. So you get one person going,
Oh, and then
everyone's going to
everybody-
get riled up.
Yeah.
So the same with bees.
yeah,
just try not to piss the bees off.
but that's like the rule of thumb, right? If
Yeah.
there's a bee, you just stay calm and do your
Just
thing.
leave it alone.
They don't care. But there's always the person who doesn't get that.
Well,
They're
like I said,
there's a bee.
it
There's a bee.
literally just flew right into my forehead, and I was like, don't swat, just leave it alone. It flew into you because it didn't know where it was. Just leave it alone.
Sure. Yeah. And how was the honey?
Phenomenal. We did a honey tasting. They do honey tastings. We ended up buying like 6 different kinds, and each one has their own distinct color and flavor. Some more amber colored, some lighter. Like the orange blossom honey that she gave us was what we've been using for the curing of the bacon, and you can taste it. You can taste it in the bacon.
That's cool. I like that.
I'm not even using a lot. I'm just spreading it on, letting it do its thing, and curing it, and it works.
You got to write that somewhere in the description of the, you know what I mean, to see if it will stand out. The orange blossom aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes great. Like we did the event with them, and people were just raving about the sandwich. They were like, "This was really good."
Cool.
Like that's what I'm here for.
So, okay, you're going to be a dad soon,
Yeah.
and what are your thoughts on that? I'm a dad.
Yeah, maybe you can give me some advice because I'm scared.
Well, you're having a little boy. I had a little girl, and I got lucky. She was an angel. I mean,
Fingers crossed here.
So I would go to sleep. Well, she would go to sleep, right at 8, 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
sleep all the way through the night.
Really?
And I'd wake up and I'd make some coffee and I'd drink my coffee. And as soon as I finished my coffee, she wakes up. That's how my life was, is up till 5. So I don't have the advice for all the late nights and all that stuff. I got really, really
All
lucky.
the babies screaming. And
Yeah, and I'm done. I'm not going to attempt to. So I wish you guys luck with that. But
Thank you.
what are your thoughts though? With I mean, like I know it's way ahead, but like, would you ever think about him being a chef or something?
I've thought about it, and it's kind of one of those things where they have to make the decision on their own.
Oh yeah, he's going to do whatever.
like-
He might be an astronaut.
I don't want to force it. Like I don't wish this life on anybody because it's not an easy
There
life.
you go. I just get some joy out of hearing you guys say that.
Like some jobs are more physical and some are more mental, but being in this industry is a combination of both.
It's
You
You're
have
on
to-
your feet. You're sore.
Between the physical aspect and then when you actually get to either owning a business or running a business, there's numbers involved, which gives you the mental headaches and the mental, capacity of running numbers. I'm constantly running numbers.
Well, even just like being on the line in a rush is a mental strain.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be
physical and mental.
It could be some people, like a buddy of mine texted me the other day. He was telling me how he was staging around town at a bunch of different restaurants. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He's like, yeah, it's really fun. He goes, I've never done stages before.
Yeah.
And he goes, now I can't stop.
Well, he needs to get paid. He needs to stop.
But he's still pretty young in his career. So
Okay.
for him to be staging is a really good thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you're like
Get him over
10
at your
years
place.
in and you're doing like 20 stages over a month's time, then there's something wrong there. You
Right.
got to be doing it. But if you're still trying to learn, still trying to progress as a cook and a chef, like staging is the best thing to do.
Right.
In this industry, some places pay you for stages,
Some do, yeah.
a lot don't.
Oh yeah, they just
It's implied.
And so, I know that. How have you dealt with him being like a chef in this industry? You've always been cooking as long as you've known him, right?
Yeah, and we actually met in culinary school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you've been
I-
to culinary school.
Yeah, I did go,
New York.
but
Yeah.
at the time, like I was offered a position right after my externship, and they wanted me to quit my job at the animal hospital I was working at. That I'd been there for 7 years, but they wanted me to quit on the spot to train, and I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then I was actually making more money than I would just switching over to culinary. So I was like, I'm just going to stay with what I know.
Sounds like you have a real appreciation for animals too,
Oh, yeah.
because that was New York, and you found something similar here,
Yeah.
and that's what you're going to continue to do.
Yeah. I don't
10
want
years
the
in.
headache of dealing with food all day.
Sure, you just let him deal with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
So, and then your thoughts for Archer are, you're going to train him to be help with the animals.
I let him do his own thing.
Yeah.
I'm very just
Well,
like,
that's-
do your own thing. I don't want to force anything on him.
Yeah, it's just, that was our generation. Our parents tried to make us do things. Oh, you're going to be a doctor. Oh, you're going to be this. You're going to be that. And it's,
Yeah.
it gets forced on you. And I think with our generation and with us raising kids, you got to let them just make their own choices in a sense.
And not to mention the fact that it's so different now.
It is.
The way everybody's connected and
Yeah.
the options because you couldn't even think of all the things you could do, and now with the internet, the
It just goes
options
by
are
so
endless.
fast. Yeah.
I mean,
Goes.
podcasts weren't around when we were younger.
No.
YouTube wasn't around when we, which is hard to imagine.
I can't remember a time where YouTube wasn't a thing.
Right, right. I mean, like you can get away with just having YouTube and not having any kind of like television set or anything.
Yeah. Like we don't even have cable really. I only pay for cable just to stream from my television.
Yeah, I don't know why I have cable, but I do.
It's
It's because it's included with the package. For
that's the incentive.
Yeah,
Incentivize it.
yeah.
And, then
And when they
raise-
tell me how much the difference is, I'm like, fine, then I'll keep the cable.
we probably have a house phone number that we don't even know just because it was cheaper to get with the house phone number.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should look into that.
Yeah, I think I forget. Even in New York, we had like a physical house phone number, but we didn't have a house phone, so it was just cheaper to have it as a part of the package.
You know what else I think is funny is I can like remember all these numbers from when I was a kid.
Yeah, same.
Right, but like nobody's going to remember numbers. None of these kids will remember numbers.
I don't even know her
He
number.
doesn't know my number.
I don't know her. And people like shame me for, you don't know your wife's number? I'm like, no, but I can tell you my old phone number from 20 years ago.
Right, yeah. I can remember, like I can recall the weirdest numbers, like my grandpa, everybody.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My father's had the same number for 30 years. I'm not even kidding. He had like the flip phone Ericsson, and he's had the same phone number.
Wow. It's impressive.
To this day.
That's impressive.
That's the only reason why I know it by heart.
Okay. And it was still a cell phone.
It was still a cell phone, and he changed different companies, but he always made sure he transferred the number over.
Yeah.
So like I'll never forget his number.
That's fun.
But I can never remember.
Hey, so if you're ever in a pinch, you might want to try and remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I could just call my father up from like, if I get locked up. Just call my father up. Hey, call Jessica for me.
Right. Well, don't get locked up.
No,
right?
that's not on my agenda.
No. I mean, that could be like the Brooklyn breakfast shop with like your mug shot on the side.
Prison bars over it.
Yeah. I could,
What's more Brooklyn than that?
Exactly.
what's more Brooklyn than that?
I've been chased by cops a couple times in my life. It's okay.
You've gotten away with it though,
Yeah.
apparently.
Never got caught.
Well, you're on air now, so careful.
Statutes of limitations.
They're looking for
More than
you.
10 years.
But yeah, man, it's exciting. It's exciting time. Yeah, and you went over some of the stuff on the menu. Anything else you want to mention? September 3rd is the hopeful launch date.
I mean, yeah, we're doing, like I said, seasonal hashes are going to be on the menu. For the opening day, for the hash, it's going to be Yukon Gold hash, charred onions, shishito hot sauce, which I call shishito kosho, and those pickled Fresnos that Jess is making.
Nice.
We're doing
Is that
desserts
spicy
also.
when after it's pickled still?
It
Got
actually
some heat?
intensifies a little bit, but when you
Oh.
mix it with everything, it
Yeah.
really comes together where you're just, you eat like a piece of Fresno and you're like, okay, that works with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill you. It's not going to put you down, put you on your ass. It's just, it's a sweet heat.
Sure. I don't think I've ever had one, so I was
They're one of
curious.
my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's why I made the Sambal Hot Sauce. I made it with Fresnos,
Okay.
Fresno chilies. It's good stuff.
Okay. So it's like what, a sweeter jalapeno? Or no, I don't know.
It's pretty spicy.
It's got
but
a good
I've been
amount of
pickling
heat.
them with honey too, which helps take down the
Yeah,
spice.
you always add a little bit of sugar to it, just kind of
sounds so
tone it
good.
down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it's a little bit smaller than a jalapeno. So the smaller ones obviously are, have a little more heat to them, but it's not where it's unbearable. Like, you're not eating a ghost chili.
Right. Hopefully nobody's eating a ghost chili.
I've seen people.
There are some. Next, we're going to bring out hot wings on here.
Okay,
and
we're
like
gonna
do the little
the hot ones.
the hot ones. We'll do an episode of hot ones here.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, but the September 3rd is the launch date. I've
Yep.
said that. And the so you guys on Instagram is at Brooklyn Breakfast Shop.
Yeah.
And Facebook, same thing.
Brooklyn Breakfast Shop.
Is the apparel or stickers, are those things for sale or strictly just kind of like giving them out?
I'm not selling them right now.
Okay.
Shirts, people who help me out at events, been giving them shirts. Obviously, you've been nothing but helpful to me with the podcast. So you get a shirt, your daughter gets a shirt.
Thank you.
I'm like Oprah with my company. Everyone gets a shirt.
So this is going to be great. Archer's coming, so
Yep.
go support the Brooklyn Breakfast Shop. Get a
Please.
sandwich.
Thank you.
Get a hearty start to your day. I'll definitely be there, and we'll talk about it on the podcast. And I don't know if we can ever get this video up and running. We can maybe feature some actual food on here. So
I mean, I would love to come by and cook.
that'd
That'd be fun.
That is the plan. I specifically picked up the GoPros so we can actually go into the field too and put together little videos.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would make you a biscuit sandwich.
It definitely. It may film the process and stuff like that. So,
Definitely.
Jessica, thank you for coming.
Sorry, I'm introverted and quiet.
Oh, don't apologize. Don't apologize. And Chef Ryan Rosen, thank you for being a pioneer in this podcast with
Appreciate
me
it.
and
Thank
getting
you.
it up and going.
Thank
So
you for the support.
cool. Thank you
Check
guys.
us out. September 3rd.
We'll be
Hash.
there.